Hi everybody, I hope you are doing really well today. I am here today with my cup of tea to do the tag that's been going around. I think most people have done this tag on YouTube already. The 5 questions, 1 take video, which I think is an excellent idea because I hate editing and will try to avoid it if I can. But so the idea is that there are 5 questions. It is seems to be a sewing challenge, but there's only 1 sewing related question, so it's quite a nice way to get to know everyone a bit better. But you can't edit it, no cutting or anything like that, which is fine. But I have to say, at the moment, at 33 weeks pregnant, I am getting out of breath quite easily, and I do find that the most times I have to edit and cut things out are because I have to stop and just slow down a little bit, because I do talk quite fast when I'm doing these videos. So the reason I'm out of breath, baby's quite high up, lungs are compressed. Yeah, fun times. So I was tagged by, I've got my phone here with all the questions, and a girl so geeky, I think her name was Gemma. Yes, Gemma, and I've just noticed you live in Portsmouth, which is not far from me at all. Hello Gemma, thank you for the tag. A Girl So Geeky is her YouTube channel, so I will link to her below so that you can see. And let me just, I'll put my tea down. Let me just get the questions up. So I shall make a start. Okay, so first question is, if you were given a paid sabbatical to spend a year living anywhere in the world, where would it be and why? Oh, so many places. I am not a big city girl at all, so that rules that out. I like visiting cities, but I don't think I could spend a year in a city. I think I would probably go to a little sort of village in the south of France or Italy or somewhere like that, and stay in a little cottage where I can walk into the local town to pick up fresh bread and milk and whatever food I need for that day in the local village. I think that would be just lovely, especially in, I think, Italy, with lots of fresh pasta. Although actually I did spend 3 months in Italy and they don't use fresh pasta as much. They use the dry pasta, which was interesting. That interested me. But you know, making fresh tomato sauces and all that kind, I do like cooking, so that would be my idea of heaven. Just spend a year cooking and sewing in a little town where the weather's, you know, really nice. That would be amazing. I think Andy, I think my husband would enjoy that as well. I know he would definitely prefer a deserted island with nobody around, and that does sound very appealing as well. A year just on a beach somewhere would be really nice as well, but I think I might get a little bit bored if I was just lying on a beach for a year. I know I'd get bored actually. I get bored if I'm lying on the beach for half an hour. I'm definitely someone who likes to explore, so yes, I think that's what I would do. And I'd have a car so that I could drive like an hour to see things and do things and experience life. That would be pretty perfect. Yes, that is my answer to that question. Okay, question number, I've got the sniffles, I'm sorry. Question number 2. Who was your favourite teacher growing up and how did they influence you? That's a bit of a tricky one actually. I very much blended into the background at school. I kept my head down. I wasn't an A-star student. I didn't fail at anything. I got B's and C's in my GCSEs. And because of that, I don't think people didn't really, this is going to sound a bit tiny violin, it's not meant to. Teachers didn't pay me much attention, and I liked that. I liked it that way. The only reason the teachers knew my name was because of my hair. Curly hair sticks out, and when I was at school, I mean, my hair's still pretty wild now, but it wasn't it was a nightmare. I was known for having weird, crazy hair at school, and not in the good way. It was a mess. So that's the reason most people knew my name. I did have teachers that I enjoyed their classes more. So my art teacher, I'm talking about secondary school here, so around sort of the age of 14, 15, 16. I enjoyed art, and my art teacher, Mrs. Harrison, she was pretty awesome. And textiles, obviously. And I actually quite enjoyed doing religious studies. But I think that might have had more to do with the fact my best friend was in that class with me as well. So, and that, her name was Miss Fairbridge, I think. I don't know. I enjoyed those classes too. I liked finding out how people live. So, yeah, but I don't think any teacher hugely influenced me. I just didn't have much to do with the teachers at school. Like I said, I kept my head down, did the work. I was a goody two-shoes. I never handed in work late, never had a detention. I was really just a boring child at school. So yeah, the teachers didn't really need to do much with me because I just got on with it. So, it's a bit of a disappointing answer really, that one, isn't it? Sorry, that's the way it is. Yeah, just have a sip of tea. Okay, question number 3. Name 3 things besides sewing that you are good at. I'm going to separate cooking and baking into two things because they are different. I do enjoy both cooking and baking. I used to do a lot of baking, and I took like an evening class in cake decorating back when cupcakes were the thing. If you remember, a few years ago they were really popular, and I made giant cupcakes for birthdays. I sort of sold them to friends and sold them to friends and family for birthdays. And I also used to make regular sized cupcakes and turn them into like a bouquet of cupcakes so that it looked like a bouquet of flowers. So I don't do much in the way of cake decorating anymore. I think I ate too much buttercream icing, and now I can't stand stuff, and I always scrape it off if someone gives me a cupcake. Usually, sometimes I'm in the mood for it, but I do love baking. I love the Great British Bake Off. I love watching that, but I like the simple things. I like banana cake, carrot cake, a good Victoria sponge really excites me. So yes, baking I love, and I do like cooking as well when I've got the energy for it. So yeah, I'm going to separate those two. I'm going to say that's 2 different things, although they both involve standing in the kitchen and mixing things, weighing things. I think they're different. So yes, cooking, I really enjoy cooking. I love spending a bit of time making a delicious meal in the kitchen. I find it quite therapeutic. Stick the radio on. But I do get tired quite easily, obviously, at the moment. And with work as well, there's not always, you know, I'd love to, this goes back to the paid sabbatical question, that I would love to just be able to spend time cooking a meal from scratch every day. That would be really nice. So cooking and baking are 2. A 3rd thing that I'm good at, not including sewing. This might be more of a personality trait, but people always remark that I'm a very calm person to be around, which is nice. So in previous jobs before I was doing this, I was working with adults with learning disabilities and autism, and then before that I was working in a preschool with lots of children, so very hectic environments. But ever since I did my first I trained to be a teacher as well, that didn't go well. But ever since I did my first teaching practice when I was 18, comments have always been that I'm a very calm person and make other people feel quite calm as well, which I think is a nice thing. I'm happy with that. I think that's good, especially when you're somewhere that's everyone's going crazy, everyone's going nuts. Staying calm, I think, is a skill. Half the time I don't feel calm. I definitely feel like a duck, you know, looking quite calm and graceful on the top, but underneath, paddling away. Yeah. So I don't know if that counts, because that's maybe more of a personality trait than an actual thing. I'm very good at sitting and watching Netflix. That's another thing I'm good at, but that's probably a bit more boring. Okay, next question. Do you cook? Yes, I do. What meal or recipe are you most known for? If you don't cook, what meal recipe do you most like to have made for you? I put that down because that's kind of cold. Don't like cold tea. What meal or recipe am I most known for? In terms of like everyday weeknight meal, I do make a good bolognese. And it's nice and quick and easy as well. And I don't follow a recipe, I kind of... it's just a bolognese, but it's really good. It's just spot on. Has basil in it and some wine and some grated carrot and things. So that is probably, that's the one thing my husband asks for the most. If I say, what do you want for dinner tonight? He's like, oh, bolognese, one of your bologneses. But I do also make a good lasagna, and I quite enjoy making a risotto. There's a risotto recipe, a Jamie Oliver one, that I've kind of adapted to simplify it because it was quite complicated. Now this, you can hear the dogs next door. I'm very sorry, can't edit it. We'll just have to go along with it. And it was a butternut squash, sage, and chestnut risotto, I think, which I made once as the recipe and it was delicious, but it was really faffy and fiddly, so I simplified it, took the chestnut out. And yes, I quite enjoy making that, especially my best friend is vegetarian, so whenever she comes over, that's quite a good one to make. For the meat eaters, I put some pancetta on top. That's nice too. But I do enjoy being cooked for as well. And I think I most enjoy having a roast dinner cooked for me. I like cooking a roast dinner, but I do, it's that thing, isn't it? Nobody cooks a roast dinner like your mum. So to go home for a roast dinner is always a special treat. So that's that question. And the last question is a sewing question. What is your favourite pattern ever and why? What is my favourite ever pattern? Probably the pattern that I've made most is what I'm wearing, which is the Alex shirt from the Sew Over It capsule wardrobe. I've made 4 of those. One was the dress version, which didn't look right on me, so I took that to the charity shop, but I have made 3 of the shirts. So yeah, that's probably my most made pattern. I did really enjoy making the tea house dress the top version from Sew House 7, and that's worked really well as a maternity top as well. So yeah, because that was a bit different, it was a new to me pattern, so I enjoyed the process of making that. But yeah, I think my favourite ever pattern is the Alex shirt. So there we go. So hopefully there's not too much babbling or boring stuff in this video. I hope you've enjoyed it. I know I said last week that this video would be an unboxing, but the boxes haven't gone out yet. So if I do an unboxing, it won't be a surprise. So you'll have to wait to see what goes into the December box. Gotta wait for that, but they are on their way and they're gorgeous and exciting and I love them. Yay! But I do have a favour to ask you guys. So I am starting to plan ahead for next year. Baby is due on the 24th of January. So I want to make some videos now in advance and some blog posts and things like that. So what I would like to know is, what do you want to see? What would be good videos for you to see? Things like tutorials, a Q&A. I definitely want to do a Q&A. So if you have a question that you would like to ask, it can be sewing related, it can be business related, it can be something completely random or whatever. If you have a question that you would like to ask me, pop that in the comments below. And if you have any ideas of videos or blog posts that you would like to see, again, let me know. I won't be doing things like fabric hauls, or probably won't really be showing you what I've been making, because I probably won't be making very much. And again, I won't be buying very much fabric for me that's not what's going in the boxes. So those are two videos that are probably out. But if there's anything else you'd like to see, do let me know. I'd like to compile a list of ideas and start making some videos for you, so that you've got lots to see whilst I sit down and have a cup of tea and play with baby, or try and get baby to sleep. Whatever happens, what will be will be. So yes, I hope you've enjoyed this video, and I will see you all in a couple of weeks' time. Bye!